Friends, good morning. This reading we have today from Judges, this might be one of the, the funniest, saddest, truest, most human, set of readings in all of the scriptures. Here's what I mean. So just to jog your memory, if you were here at Mass, daily Mass, Saturday morning, what we heard in this cycle of readings was from the book of Joshua. Joshua is admonishing the Israelites before they crossed into the promised land. He's warning them not to fall away, not to fall into idolatry. This was the line we heard Saturday. But the people answered, "Far be it from us to forsake the Lord for the service of other gods. For it was the Lord our God who brought us and our fathers up out of the land of Egypt, out of a state of slavery. He performed those those great miracles before our very eyes and protected us along our entire journey and among all the peoples through whom we passed. At our approach, the Lord drove out all the peoples, including the Amorites who dwelt in this land. Therefore, we also will serve the Lord, for he is our God." And then the opening line for Mass today. The children of Israel offended the Lord by serving the Baals, abandoning the Lord, the God of their fathers, who led them out of the land of Egypt. They followed the other gods of the various nations around them, and by their worship of these gods, provoked the Lord. Oh man, open your mouth, insert foot, is what ended up happening here. So idolatry is what ended up happening. Idolatry is what ended up happening. Idolatry was the primary temptation for Israel. And what is that? It was giving their hearts. They were giving their hearts to things that did not deserve their hearts, that did not deserve their attention, their time, their devotion. They were looking to something to deliver on a promise that only someone, namely God, could do. That's a good definition of idolatry. Giving your heart to something when it belongs to someone, namely God. This is what was going on with the gospel that we just heard with this rich young man, that his heart and his life were wrapped up in all of these possessions. He was possessed, not demonically possessed, but he was possessed in the sense that he had given himself to so many lesser goods. He went away sad because he had many possessions. There were so many things that had hooks in him, right? Things that weren't God. And Jesus, in his great mercy, he's inviting this young man to step into freedom, to let go. This is not what you are looking for. Let go of the idol. I'm the one you are ultimately looking for. So we can read the story of the Israelites here in Judges and look at them and think, well, I don't have any idols. I'm not worshiping the Baals or the Ashtaroth, any of these things. I would not be so quick to jump to that conclusion. If you want to know what your idols are, we just got to look at our hearts for just a few moments. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to list off of a set of statements that complete this sentence. Okay, so here's the sentence. Life only has meaning, or I only have worth if, we're going to fill in these blanks and see if it's true in your life. Life only has meaning, I only have worth if I have power and influence over other people. If that's you, you're worshiping the idol of power. Life only has meaning, I only have worth if I'm loved and respected by fill in the blank. That's the approval idol. I have this kind of pleasure experience, a particular quality of life. Well, that's the idol of comfort. I'm able to get mastery over my life in the area of fill in the blank. If that's you, then you have the idolatry of control. Life only has meaning, I only have dignity and worth if people are dependent on me and need me. That's the helping idolatry. Someone is there to protect me and keep me safe. Dependence idolatry. I'm completely free from obligations or responsibilities to take care of someone. That's the independence idolatry. I'm highly productive and get a lot done. It's the idolatry of work. I'm being recognized for my accomplishments and I'm excelling in all my work. That's the idolatry of achievement. I have a certain level of wealth, financial freedom, and very nice possessions. That's the idolatry of materialism. I'm adhering to my religion's moral codes and accomplished in its activities. That's the idolatry of religion, making the religious practice the idol. I feel I'm totally independent of organized religion and I'm living by a self-made morality. That's the irreligion idolatry. My race and culture is ascendant and recognized as superior. That's racial idolatry. You see how this works? There's a lot more to idolatry than am I worshiping the Baals. So we need to look at, Lord, free us from our idolatry. Free us from the places where we've given our hearts to lesser goods, to lesser gods. Invite us into freedom today, Jesus. Amen.